hello there, and sounded a bit Australian that. Yeah, good morning, whatever. So, I'm, as mentioned in the last episode, I'm on to now the low voltage wiring, and like anything, as I've said in the past, every time I start a new sort of topic or task, it always takes me a while to get going. So it's already the middle of the morning, and I haven't actually. Well, I have done things. I've pulled out the wire. I've got the spreadsheet out. So as I mentioned, the low voltage is a whole different kind of ball game with the things. You need to calculate. It's not just the amperage weight. How much current the wire can take. When you're in the low voltages. The distance, you get the voltage drop because every cable has some resistance, and you get a voltage drop as it goes along. So depending on the actual, the amount of load, the amperage you're putting through, and the distance of the cable, you need to work out how big the cable needs. It needs to be bigger than the actual amperage rating, so it doesn't. Otherwise, if you put some volts in at one end, by the time it gets to the other end of the boat, it's all dribbled away. It's a bit like having a really long hose pipe. The resistance would just make the pressure go down. So I've been working on this before I got the boat, because it's something I could do at home. It's all. Luckily, there's quite a few calculators online. Thank you very much, whoever created those. And so I have the wire. I've had this. So I think it's alright before the boat arrives, because I expected to be using it about June, and what's it now? Well, late October. Anyway, at least I'm finally here. So I have I've got a spreadsheet that I've got all the sort of the amperage ratings and the distance, and that will be it. The only thing is, I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to have enough cable. I was surprised when I was doing the mains voltage that I'd started the 50 meter roll of cable, and the boat inside is roughly about 12 meters long, 13. So I thought, well, up down. Bit of slack, because I'm going to have plenty, but I was surprised how little cable I had left. Now I know it's not in a taut straight line. I know it goes up and down, and there's a total of 4 meters when it goes across, but still. So this was done. Said the amount I needed was all done on the off the plan of the design, on the computer per se. So I said I reckon I'll be needing some more, but hey ho. So I think you just need to get the inertia rolling and get cutting. Catch you later. Well, hello again. Some days later, as so often with these projects, and I haven't made a huge amount of progress, I have to say. Meanwhile, I don't know if you can hear, it's absolutely lashing down. So my external weatherproofing, as it were, is having certainly a good road test, as it were. And cross fingers, to date, it seems to be holding up, which is a huge relief. Anyway, back to the programme, as they say, and I've started on the ceiling and not got so far. I basically got the first few, and I was just about to get to here, and I've realised there's years back when I was doing the insulation, when I was so very carefully putting these the conduits so I can get through the things. And basically, for some reason, I've just totally missed out putting some lights here. Here. And I really need to, otherwise there's a light up there and there's a light there. There's much too much of a gap. I don't know what I was thinking. Must have been some reason. Anyway, I really think I need a light here and here. But to do that, I'm now going to have to try and figure out a way to get the wires need to run across at some point, and I need to get a way to get through these wooden battens here, so I suspect I'm going to have to get the drill out, which is not great. If I run them on the surface, this is where the ceiling is going to be attached to. So if the wires are there, it's not really going to work. Well, so as you can see, my solution is to very uneloquently drill through as much, gouge is better the word, hack through a bit of the joist. Which seems to work. I think I'll get a wire through there. I'll just have to clean it up a bit. So let's see how that goes. I'm not in any way surprised, but I'm still somehow shocked that. So when I've been running the wires through these little sort of conduits I'd put behind the thing. So to my horror, there are literal drops of moisture in there, and that's exactly what sort of science would say, because these things go behind the board, and there's not so much insulation. They're just basically touching the bare metal, so it's cooler, and therefore it's sucking up the atmosphere in the boat, and it's condensing, and you're getting water drops. So once I've run the wires, I'm going to shove not some foam, but I'll shove a few, sort of bung of the insulation, and then tape it up, and hopefully that will stop it. Because otherwise you're going to be getting drips of water, and it's going to be dripping on the back of the roof, which is not what roof lining, which is not what you want at all. Afternoon. Well, I think there's about 30 seconds of video there, but as so often in these things that I've shown in the past, it's actually been about a week since I started, and the wiring is now done, as in it's all cut up. As I said, it's taken a while for many reasons. One, although it's really tedious, so you're not raring to go. But on the other hand, it's also, you have to think about it, so you can't just turn off and zone out. It's a lot of thought. I also had to make some sort of, I calculate it all in advance, but when you're here, when it's in the reality, some of the things I had to sort of recalculate and look at what the wire size should be. So there's that. Then at the start, I also had as at the tail end, there's lurgies going around, which not COVID, but just general lurgies that seems to be flooding through the UK at the moment. Most people at the boat have had, on the boatyard have had it at some point, and I was just at the tail end of that. So again, I wasn't hugely energetic. And also I took some time off to have a tiny bit of social activities. The neighbours, sort of neighbours but one up there, invited me to the pub, which was great. And that meant the following day was just for pints, of course. And the following day it wasn't just a pint, so the following day I wasn't super productive. Anyway, as my friends in Austria say at lunchtime, Mahlzeit. As you can see, there's not a huge amount to see. The wires are strung up, some of them at the ceiling level, and the majority are down here in the gunnel. We're going all towards the back. And then the next thing we're going to do is where the wires come out here, etc., and where the sort of the outlets for the switches are. I'm now going to put some crimp spade connect on there, so it should be able to in future make the connection to the switches, etc., a little bit easier. I'm tempted just to put it off, but I thought it's probably easier to do it here while everything's still relatively loose and you can just jiggle the wires a bit. And it's got to be done at some point, so might as well get it out of the way. Afternoon. Well, that went slightly better than hoped, which was always nice. Once I sort of got a rhythm to it. So all the wires now have the crimp connectors ready for either going directly into the switch or for a sort of a fly lead, as it were, if they need to go a bit farther. And similarly, then all the lights now also have connectors ready to connect the LEDs once the ceiling's in. So I think the last thing I need to do is this. This is all looking very much like, I don't know what it reminds me of. Either some crazed Frankenstein laboratory or one of those photos of reminds me of those photos of very, very early telephone exchanges with wires strewn everywhere. So before I go any further, I've got some more cable ties and sort of pads. So I will have a go. Now everything is in. I'll have a go at sort of tidying this up a bit. Well, that looks a little neater. So the very last thing to do before the light goes, there's where I put some of the wires in the ceiling, and I've cut a nick into the foil insulation. I'm just going to put a strip of foil, just like I've done here, over the wires, just so that the although it shouldn't make any difference, I might as well, and just it'll keep it in place and just stop and hopefully stop some of any moisture migrating through the foam. Evening. Well, I wasn't going to have a drink this weekend, given I had a heck of a lot last weekend. However, I think as I've now finished that bit of the wiring, I think that I think I've earned one. I deserved it, and it is Friday evening, so yeah, not too hard. Anyway, that's good to get done. Not complete done. I think I mentioned already that I haven't, for the mains wires, there's some special size for rules that I bought a while back, and I can't find them, and I can only assume they're somewhere in London until I go back. I can't check. They might be buried somewhere in the container or something, but everywhere that we obviously have looked. So yeah, so tomorrow morning I need to have a good tidy up, and then it will be on to the next phase, which is putting some of that wood up on the walls at last, which will be hard work, but be great to get done. Anyway, thanks for watching, and cheers. See you later.